Greetings, this is Eduardo Jumbo. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can write a script so you can check when your SSL certificate expires. I'm going to be using curl, and I'll show you how to do it right on the command line, and also I'll use PHP so you can use whatever scripting is. For example, in the command line it could be bash, B-A-S-H. Obviously, another scripting language is PHP. You could use Python or something else. If you want me to use Python or C or some other programming language, let me know. I can do that for you. But the process is the same. If I did one way right on the command line, it would be the same as you'll see in this tutorial. I'll let you know that this tutorial is brought to you by the Learning PHP course over jumboshop.com. So the reason I was inspired to do this is because Let's Encrypt, which is a free way to easily obtain and manage SSL certificates, what they used to do is they would always, if something went wrong, where because the certificate's supposed to be renewed within 30 days, it will be auto renew. So sometimes maybe something happened with the DNS or something with the server. So something wrong. So they will send you an email. Or for example, sometimes maybe you have the testing subdomain or something like that, and then you forgot about it, you removed it, but you didn't basically let Let's Encrypt know, so they'll send you a notification. So sometimes it was annoying, but it was a good service. The problem is they stopped doing that because it became too burdensome for them. So I'm going to show you how you can write your own script to let you know when an SSL certificate expires. Now, the good thing about this method is you can do it in a way that you don't have to, for example, do it on a remote service. You can just maybe when you start up your workstation, or you can you can do it locally, so you can test your servers. I'll show you how to do it in a second when we actually do the coding part. So expired SSL certificates result in warning messages for visitors, damaging your reputation and impacting the SEO. Manual checks are time consuming and they're prone to error, especially when managing multiple websites. Automated checks ensure proactive security measures, preventing downtime and potential issues. So right now I'm doing a live stream like I do every single day. You simply visit ojumbo.com, you go under the watch menu, you go to live sub menu, and then you can see, for example, this is the current one I'm doing right now, live on Odyssey. If you log into Odyssey, you can chat. We can chat live. If you don't want to do chat, I will show you how you can watch the video without the live stream without actually participating, like sending me messages or anything like that. And as you can see, it shows you the approximate date and time. And this is the next one we'll be doing literally tomorrow. So I have all the information about, so one of the things you can do when you create your own scripts is that you can, for example, list a whole bunch of domains you want to be tracked. You can choose the command line scripting tool. For example, I said I'm going to use it today. You can do it in bash, or you can also do it in PHP. You can create a script to check the listed domains, and you can manually run the script. Maybe you don't want to do it automated. So this is a good way, to learn. And also you can set up a cron job to automate the script to, let's say you want to run every 2 weeks. Because for example, I said the Let's Encrypt certificates, they expire every 90 days. So you don't need to check it, like you can even check it once a month. Okay. So basically, if you don't know what an SSL is, that's secure sockets layer. That's SSL in an encryption security protocol. TLS, that's the transport layer security. That's an encryption protocol for secure communication over network. So for example, you see my site here, or jumbo.com here. So for example, if you click here or whatever browser you're using, see view site information, you can see here it says connection is secure. And then it says connection is secure, certificate is valid. So if we can open this up and you see that it is a valid certificate. I'm not going to, so actually, you can check this. For example, if you click it, you see to say ojumbo.com. That's a website. It's issued by Let's Encrypt, and you see this was issued on March 1st, 2025, and it will expire in May 2025. So for this particular tutorial, all we care about is when it was when the expiry date is. So if you want to get the issue date, you can also get it out. I'll show you that when we actually check it on the command line. Okay, we can close this. So anything else in the glossary? Yeah, so we talked about that. There's HTTPS. Obviously here you see in the URL, it's HTTPS. That's the secure protocol, hypertext transfer that's secure. That's the S. It's an extension of the default hyper transfer protocol. That's HTTP. So what is an SSL certificate? It's a digital certificate that authenticates website's identity and enables an encrypted connection between the web server and the browser. And what's a CA? As I told you, in my case, it's Let's Encrypt. So for this website, so that's a certificate authority or certification authority is an entity that stores, signs, and issues digital certificates. So obviously for a remote site like this one, I can't use a self-signed certificate, but I've shown you how you can do self-signed certificate for your local network. Okay, so for this tutorial, you need some type of text editor, or for example here, Apache NetBeans. You can use Apache NetBeans, but for this tutorial, I'm going to try something new. I'm going to use Guinea. It's a lightweight IDE. You also need, if you need some type of command line, especially to connect to your remote sites, I recommend using SSH. That's a secure shell client. Or an example is there are many different providers. One of them is OpenSSH. That's what I'm going to use. Then the shell access. That just basically means command line. So if you want to see the code snippets, you can just click expand here and it will show them up there. And basically what we're going to do is, for all of this, we're going to use the crawl command, or we'll use the PHP command, and you can also set up a cron job. So I'll show you how to do all this on the command line. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to get the certificate using the crawl command. Basically we're going to download the certificate. Like, you know how I went up here and I got the information. So even though you don't see it, what it actually does, it actually downloads the certificate. So that's what we're going to do. And then we're going to parse it for dates. And the dates I'm really I care about, I said, is just the expiry date. Now you might want to know when it was renewed and how far back you can this is just a starting point for you. So the pseudocode is simply to compare the current day, that's today, to the expiry date. So for example, I think in this one my certificate actually expires in May. So for jumbo.com. So what happens then is let's say it was May 10, which would be from today is about 2 weeks away. So that would be concerning. Okay, and then I can send an email. You can send an email to yourself. Or for example, if you're running it on your computer, you can maybe just send a little alert, so it will alert you, and you can do that. Just be aware of that. And then the Let's Encrypt. There's also the acme.sh command for Let's Encrypt. I didn't use this because it might change, since right now at the time of this recording, this command there's ways it has a notification. There's a way you can turn off notifications and make your own notifications. But the reason I decided not to use it is because since Let's Encrypt has changed their notifications policy, they might remove that functionality from this command. So that's why I prefer to use something that will be future-proofed, and for example, and you have full control over it. So using other methods allow the monitoring to take place on a server or remotely, including on a workstation locally. So that's what I'm trying to say. So in this case, I can run this on my current workstation and not have to worry about, for example, I can't install acme.sh locally, right? So that's the reason. And here's the screenshots here. You can see when you run the call command, you can actually get the expiry dates, and I'll show you which one to pick. And this is the PHP screenshot. And obviously this is a live stream. As I was saying, you can just simply scroll down to get the live stream. If I go back on top here, as I promised, you see when you go to an article that the live stream is current or it's future dated, post dated, you can see to tell you the approximate date and time, where you can ask questions. It says you can view live stream. So if I click here, I can go, which I will. I'll open it. You see, it opens up here. You can go and you see this is the actual live stream right now. So if I hit play, see, there you go. So that's one way to do it. But I'm saying if you don't want to go there to chat live, you can obviously just scroll down to the video, which is this one, and you can watch it right on the embedded version without going to the Odyssey or whoever channel I'm there. So PHP and curl are both open source. Curl is a command line tool. It's licensed under the MIT/X. That's a permissive license. The PHP scripting language is also licensed under the PHP. The PHP scripting language is licensed under the PHP license, and that's a permissive license. Basically, permissive licenses, they have conditions requiring the preservation of the copyright license notices. They do allow redistribution and other, for example, making derivatives proprietary. And obviously what you should do is consult the license for more specific details. Okay, so I think we're about ready to get started here. So let me, be sure to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments for more frequent content. Okay, so let's get started. I'm just gonna go straight to the command line and we get, so I'm gonna minimize this. Okay, we don't need Guinea yet, so let's go here and here. Okay, so I actually don't need a folder. I don't know why I opened that up. But so most of the tutorials I saw online, what they did was they would tell you to, for example, you'd have a certificate here and then you would parse it. However, in my particular case, I said I only care about is the expiry date. So I don't need to download. For example, could you imagine if I run this script, say once a day, I don't want to be downloading the certificate every single day. So I just want to read it. So that's what we're going to use curl command here for. So what you do is, so we're going to get, sorry, here, I forgot I should zoom in here so you can see, zoom, there we go. So we're going to get SSL expiry date. Okay, so you just type curl. By the way, the hashes are comments for the command line. So just type curl. Obviously, you've installed curl. And then you type hyphen. V is for verbose. That means a lot of information. It means obviously, you know, actually here, let me not make it up. So let's look at the manual. So as you can see here, so the manual has a lot of stuff in here. So I am looking for I believe stands for, actually let me, A. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. You have to go really fast. Okay, so K is that will specify usually, or lowercase k. That means ignore the if it's a self-signed certificate. And well, yeah. So the manual has a lot of stuff here. I'm just in the B right now. So there we go. So you can read the manual. I'm going to quit the manual here. So curl, I know V is for verbose, I is for information. That's what I want. And HTTPS. So I'm going to get the Google one, google.com. And then, so if I just type that, you see it got all the information from google.com. Now you can see there's way too much information here. Say cache control and the content type. Obviously download the page. See, it's using TLS version 1.3, so that's great. And here's the certificate. You see, it got the certificate as well. And the issuer is actually from Google itself, Google Trust Services. You see, here we go, the expiry date. So the expiry date for the one on google.com at the time of this recording is June 23, and the start date was March 31st. Okay, so this is the information that that's all the information I care about for this tutorial. Okay, so as you can see, there's too much information and there's too much to parse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to output that same information you just got. I'm going to output it to the to basically the device now, because I don't need to see it. And then what I'm going to do is I'll parse it by using grep. So put it into grep, and then I'm going to look for something called expire space date. And you see, it tells me right here, this is exactly what I wanted. Expiry date is June 23 of 2025 GMT time. I believe that stands for General, is it Mountain Time? Okay, so I think that's a standard time. Yeah, I don't know what I can't remember what that stands for. I've been in high school for a couple of decades. Okay, so that's how you can get it from the command line. See, I get this, then I can determine if it's I can write a script and say, okay, so you can imagine if I had let's say another site, like for example google.ca. Actually, let's try google.ca. google.ca, and they all expire at, oh, look at that, they expire on the same day, but the times are slightly different. You see, the Canadian one is actually a little bit later than the .com one, .ca, you see. So those are different ones. So if you had multiple sites, this is a simple way to find out if they're expired or not. Now, if I was running this manually and that's all I care about, I would just run that and maybe just tweak it to myself if that's all I care about. Now, if I want to get the start and the expiry date, I can run the same command. However, a much better way would be, for example, if I just want the dates. You see, the problem here is I still get this expiry date. So if I don't want this, you can obviously run another command. It's the same curl command. Okay, so put that into a variable. Call it. So this is the squiggly brackets. I put certs and https www.google.com and silent. Obviously, remember, I'm not doing verbose now. Silent. I send it as a promise to device now. And then I into grep. I pipe it into grep. Then this is just a regular expression. So what I'm going to look for is so start, all, expire, and the word date. Okay, so as you can see here, it tells me the start date is March 30th, whatever this is, and the expiry date is. Now you might be wondering why are there so many different dates? Now that's because when you actually have a certificate, it has it has obviously when it was created, and then when it was when it expires. But there's also other dates, for example, when the for the certificate authority, right? When they sign and all that as well. So I'll give you an example. If we go back to the here, and I'll go back to mine, and I go to this connection is secure, certificate is here. So you see here we have the validity period, right? But there's more information. So for example, you have the issuer, right? It's less encrypt. We already disturbed that. And you see not before. See, there's a not before date and not after date, right? So, but then there's other dates. Let me see here. I don't know if this one will have it. There's Is it in the keys? Yeah, there's other dates. Don't know if it shows up in here. They usually do have other dates as well. It's hard to, I can't figure out where those were. Was it here maybe? Oh yeah, here we go. You see, if you look at this date, for example, this is for the, you see this date here. It says 12. I don't know if this is 12. I don't know how to read it. I don't know if this is, yeah, but anyway, it's from 2024. So clearly, this, as I said, there's different dates, and they see there's not after, and it's 2027. So that's, see, those are, as I said, there's multiple dates for different things. So that's, if you want to get all those type of dates as well for the trust, that's the root certificate. That's how you get them as well. So back here, so so we're basically done with the command line. So if you're going to do bash, you can get whatever dates you want here, and you know, you can do some bash scripting with that. So I was going to do that with bash scripting, but I think that might be a little bit too advanced for most of you guys. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to use PHP, because that's straightforward, and most likely this will be on a PHP remote site. So of course, you can also install PHP locally. That's what I'm going to do. It's just easier. Just make your guys' life easier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a file here. I'm going to call it, what should I call it? I'll say check SSL curl.php. Okay, so I've created a file here. I don't need this anymore. Minimize this again. So we have this. So I'm going to drop this into what do you call this? Guinea. So I'll zoom in here as well. I think zoom. Yeah, there we go. So you can see what I'm doing. Now, so this is PHP file. So obviously PHP. I'll put a closing PHP. Okay, so now, so what is our URL? It's going to be https www.google.com. Okay. Next, we're going to initiate the curl. So just a variable ch equals curl init. And then we're going to set some variables. And curl opt URL, our URL. I'll just duplicate this. Is it Control D? Yeah, Control D. Okay. Okay, this will be lowercase. So we're going to have another one here. Okay, so what we're going to type in here is curl opt header. I'm going to set that to true. And then curl opt, that stands for option, return transfer. We'll also set that to true. Come on, true. Okay. Duplicate this. That's Control D. And then this one will be cert info. So if you remember the command line, the last one I put cert because curl has built-in way just to get only the certificate, and that's all I care about here. So that's, I set that to true. Here SSL verify peer. Set that to false. The reason I'm doing this is because if the certificate has expired, if the certificate has expired, obviously I still want to get it to I know when the expiry date was. And then of course you can put SSL verify host You set that to 0, that means false as well. Okay, then what I'll do is I'll put output equals curl execute, last one here, of course ch. Okay, and then info equals, because we're getting the information, so info equals curl get info h, and then we can close curl close our variable ch. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to print everything out. I'll just print our info just to show you the information it gets. So info. Okay, so if I run this Guinea, it's pretty straightforward. It says call to print r. Oh, come on. Okay, save that. Okay, you see all this information that it got. So I don't think I can zoom in here. Yeah, as you can see, there's a lot of information. Look at that. There's a lot of information. You can see they see the timestamp. As I said, there's a lot of dates. So there's a timestamp here, another timestamp, and there's a lot of information here. The root R4. So Google all this stuff. You see the start date, expiry date. So you can see this one. This is for the root. That's the certificate authority. And yeah, so as I say, there's a lot of information I can get. Okay, so that's way too much information. I don't need all that information. Okay, so actually, let me print this again. I'll print this again just to show you what information we want. Okay, so this is the IP and all this stuff. So there's this. Yeah, this is not the information we want. If I want to get the certificate, I can get it here. So that's one way to download certificates. Issuer, global sign, all that stuff. Oh, here we go. No, that's a different start date and expiry date. I told you there's a lot of them. So that's for that's not the one we want. This one is timestamp. That's not the one we want. Issuer, that's not it. So this is an array. You see, it says cert info, and it's an array 0, and you can see here it has a whole bunch of stuff. It might actually be in here. Let me check. No, that's one. So it's not there. Thought it would be here. Start. Oh, here it is. Yeah, start. Here we go. Start. See, there's a start date and an expiry date. So these are the two we want. You see, it's inside an array with the key of 0. So that's one we want. So, and just to prove it to you, I can, for example, I'll comment this out. So if I want just the certificate, I can simply say echo info cert info and then cert. Okay, hopefully that I didn't make any spelling mistakes. Cert info cert unidentified array. So this is wrong. Let's actually delete that. So if I want I think it's 0. I think that should give me the certificate. Yeah, see, that gives me the certificate. So if I only want the certificate, I can actually download the Google certificate like that. And so obviously I'll comment this out. Actually, I'll duplicate it, comment that out. So then if I want the start date, I just type start date. And if I run this, you see, it will tell me it's Monday, the 31st. So this is way better than even on the command line, because it gives me a date I can simply just parse it to make it more human readable for myself, and I can write other things. So for example, I duplicate this, and I think there was expiry, yeah, expire date. So I'll comment this one out, and then run this. You see, this is the expire date, June the 23rd. So if I change this to ojambo.com and I run this, you see the expiry date bound is May 30th, so the end of next month. So we'll leave this to Google, and you see now you can get the expiry date. So with this, you can simply mail to yourself. If you don't understand, just basically, as I said, the pseudocode is you compare this to today's date and you say that, for example, you have 37 days until it expires, something like that. So just use the mail command. You see mail, and you can mail it to yourself, or just an alert or something else. So that's the end of the coding for today's tutorial. I'm gonna go back to the article here, and as I said before, every day there's a live stream. If you visit ojambo.com, you go to the watch menu, live sub menu, then you can see the current one with the approximate date and time, or the future ones, the channel, and obviously the date as well. Also, be sure to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments for more frequent content. And if you did enjoy this, consider supporting me. You can purchase one of my WordPress plugins at ojambo.com. You can enroll my programming courses at ojamboshop.com. You can buy one of my programming books on Amazon. Search for @ojambo. Links in the description. You can hire me for your programming and app development needs at ojamboservices.com, or you can become a donor at ojambo.com/donate. Here, and also I put it up here in the header bar. You see it's a fixed header, and the donate button, there's an icon there, just for your convenience. Okay, so I think I'll end here, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.